Joseph Robinette Biden is continuing to disappoint in some pretty stunning ways. Biden's inauguration will be mostly virtual, but he's still raising millions for it from corporations and wealthy donors. The presidential inaugural committee will allow individual donations up to $500,000 and corporate donations up to $1 million. For what? So this is from David Dayen of the American Prospect. He says, Google is facing a lawsuit from the U.S. government with a Facebook lawsuit on the way. The departure of Ajit Pai as chair of the Federal Communications Commission could lead to the restoration of net neutrality protections, preventing Comcast and AT&T from charging to deliver content through its broadband pipes. Countless other corporations have business before the federal government, from hospitals to banks, from pharmaceutical manufacturers to insurance and real estate companies, and many more. All these corporations can now give up to $1 million directly to support the inauguration of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris in January. Presidential inaugural committees are unlike political campaigns in that they can take direct corporate contributions. The Biden committee, announced on Monday as a 501c4 nonprofit, allows corporate donations up to $1 million and donations from individuals up to $500,000. Moreover, we won't know the identities of these donors until 90 days after the inauguration. Okay, so get this, because this is really interesting. Biden and his team banned fossil fuel companies from donating. They banned fossil fuel companies from donating, which means Joe Biden is agreeing to the logic of that money being given to us is a corrupting influence. They're not donating because they like me personally. They're donating because they want favors in return. I don't want to give them favors in return. So I'm not accepting money from that industry. Because that's basically like pay-to-play corruption, right? They want something out of this. You can agree in principle that this is corruption, and that's why I'm not taking the money from them. But then when it comes to all the other corporations and all the other industries and all the other billionaires and wealthy individuals, you're like, yeah, we're going to accept it. You couldn't make more clear that you're okay with the corruption in some circumstances with some industries and just not with this one industry. Now, I should state for the record, it's not like Trump is holier than thou on this, because Trump broke all records and raised $107 million in 2017 for his inauguration. And then he actually did fewer events than previous presidents with the extra money, with the more money. So there's actually a lawsuit right now in Washington, D.C., because they're saying the Trump campaign misused the funds. They can't account for all the funds. Now, but here's the thing that breaks me. Like, this is the fact that's just, it makes you realize how far astray we've gone. Inaugural funding is generally put towards production of the gala balls, so like these parties that they have, crowd control, because at the inauguration, usually there's giant crowds, like the infrastructure to set it up, this whole process, right? And also like things like porta potties on the National Mall, because there's obviously a lot of people there. This is what they're nominally raising money for when they raise the money. But we're not going to get any of this stuff with Biden because of COVID. Like the gala balls and stuff, they're not happening this year because of COVID. So he's going to raise tens of millions, probably over 100 million like Trump. Going to raise over 100 million from corporations and wealthy donors for the inauguration. And he doesn't even have anything to spend it on. So it's not even like he can nominally put it towards something else. This is obscene, guys. This is obscene. If you're not really going to have a traditional inauguration, why are you raising money like it's a traditional inauguration? And you already admitted it's corrupting, which is why you said no to the fossil fuel money. But you're saying yes to all these other industries? I mean, listen, this is as corrupt as it gets. There's not even like... It's like they're not even pretending that it's on the up and up. Because they're going to take the money, and they admit they have nothing to spend it on, so where the hell's the money going to go? And how's it going to influence him? It's going to influence him in the same way he knows the fossil fuel money would influence him. He's going to listen to Big Pharma, for example. He's going to listen to the military-industrial complex. He's going to listen to whatever industries and billionaires happen to give him funds. That's what's going to happen. He's an old-school politician. It reminds me of that video from when he was new to politics that we played on this show a number of times. He basically admitted, like, yeah, I went to the big donors to try to raise money, and they said, son, come back when you're 40. But the way he phrased it was, I was willing to whore myself. He either said whore myself or prostitute myself. I was willing to prostitute myself to the donors, but they said, come back when you're 40. He was like bragging, proud that he wanted to partake in the corruption. And now here he is. By the way, he did go back when he was 40. And they gave him a lot of money. And then here we are now. Old school Biden. Same stuff. Pay to play. Go along to get along. Oh, I'll take a moral stand on one industry. One industry. Fossil fuel. Will he when it comes to Wall Street? No. Will he when it comes to the military-industrial complex? No. Will he when it comes to health insurance companies or big pharma? No. And they don't even have anything to spend it on. Meet the new boss, same as the old boss. Incredibly corrupt. And they will make decisions that benefit the people who are giving him the money, for sure. Those are the first concern. Those are the first people in mind when he makes decisions. Won't be the American people. It'll be the donors. He's already poised to be just as corporatist as we said he was going to be. So how's that whole push him left thing going?